Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So this is our gymnastics day. And so here what we'll do, again, we got two groups of this gymnastics focused exercises. The first group will be your Lsit for 20 to 30 seconds and 12 around the world. So we'll go 6 one way and 6 the other way. All right. And once we get done with that, we'll do another couplet with pull-ups, 5 to 8, and then ring dips. So that'll be our strength component for our gymnastics day. All right. So Lsit is actually quite difficult to do it correctly. And so from my observation, people like sort of kind of do it. It's more like a W sit because the knees are bent, the toes are just kind of like whatever. And so it's not necessarily the idea whenever the person who made the Lsit kind of wanted to do that. And a couple of things that we can kind of understand with this is that like our hips have to actually be kind of out in front. And so I can demonstrate this from a tuck really, really well. So if I go into this tuck position here, if you guys can see me from the side, then I tuck, pushing down into my hands on the pedalettes, and then I bring my hips out that way, right? So my hips is clearly out in front of my hands, and then that'll kind of like create this compression. So when we go Lsit, we want to achieve that. And what happens when people extend their legs, the hip probably sink down or rotate back. And that's something we really want to avoid. And the one way to kind of get really good at that is to make sure we're super active through our hands and our shoulders, trying to create some space so we can have our hips maintain out. And then the thing about a bent knee and a straight knee, it should be evident, but in this movement, it seems like there's a lot of interpretation of what a straight leg is. And a straight leg, guys, is simply a straight leg, all right? So this is kind of how it attempts to look. So we're here, and then that's your Lsit, all right? And so you guys want to maintain that for 20 to 30 seconds consecutively, right? It's not accumulation. And so that there, as pretty as I hoped it looked, I know I wouldn't have held that for 20 to 30 seconds. Maybe I had like 2 or 3 more. And so what I would do, based on my current capacity, is that I'll simply go a tuck or I'll just go a leg out. That feels like I can make it there for about 20 seconds. And then at the 10-second mark, I'll bring my one leg in, take the other one out. So those are available options for that. All right, now just around the world. You guys want to start in a hang, and then essentially I'm gonna move these J hooks just for safety reasons. Kind of freaking me out there in a moment. So what happens is that we just want to go from a hang, come up. That'll be 1. That'll be 2. That'll be 3. So we want to go back and forth until 12 of those complete, and we want to do that couplet for 6 rounds. 3 rounds, not 6. But for your other 3 rounds, you guys would go pull-ups and ring dips. Pull-ups, we can start here. Again, hands nice and long, feet clearly off the ground. Sink, 5 to 8, chin over the bar, reach extension, chin over the bar, reach extension. You guys want to do 5 to 8 of those. And then you want to go ring dips. Typically with the ring dips, a couple things to think about when you set up. If the rings are further out, your push is going to be a lot harder. So typically between these straps, we want to think elbow to fingertip. Because if you guys see my elbow to my fingertip, it goes shoulder to shoulder. So that's typically how you measure your shoulder width. All right. And so with that, we kind of get started. That seems about right. It doesn't have to be to the T, but just really close. The thing you want to avoid is it going too wide. A couple of things, whenever I set up the rings, I set them purposely up tall because in gymnastics, we talk about the uniform arch and the uniform hollow. And so if we can always make sure that we're reinforcing good positions through any movement, that'll serve us a lot better, right? So we'll never have to guess what a good hollow or a good arch position is. So when we jump up, externally rotate, come down, gaze is neutral, press back up, gaze is neutral, press back up. All right, so we got 5 to 8 of those, and we got that couplet for another 2 rounds. Use a band on any of these apparatuses as needed. And then also, since we don't have a tempo today, if you guys wanna add weight to make this a little bit more challenging, go for it, have fun. Guys, you're amazing, go get it. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Now you're about to work out. So we got this kettlebell flow. So what happens here, we wanna go 4 time, and we wanna go 50 Russian swings. All right, once we get done with 50 Russian swings, we'll go 50 lunge pass-throughs with the kettlebell. Once we get done with that, we'll go into 50 American swings. And then once we get done with that, we'll go into 25 Curtis P's. And then we'll go jumping over the bell 100 times, back to 25 Curtis P's, back to 50 American swings, back to lunge pass-throughs, back to Russian swings. And so it's a pretty much you guys are swinging the entire time with the kettlebell, doing various things, so it should be pretty fun. There is a caveat. Every time you guys put the bell down, you guys gotta pay a 5 burpee penalty. Now, the penalty is paid if you guys are working up your way to the number. So on your way to 50 or on your way to 25, if you guys put the bell down, pay a 5 burpee penalty. If you guys make it to 50, put the kettlebell down before you start the next movement, you guys don't have to pay the penalty. So the penalty is not paid in between movements, it's only paid on your way to set number if you stop anything short of that number. Make sense? I hope it did, all right? So with the Russian swing, these are the ones that just start from the ground, kind of stops about our level. So we got 50 of these. All right, and I overemphasize my breath because the idea to like cycle kettlebells, you gotta think about it as punching or like any sort of striking sport. So every time the bell goes out, you should release the breath with that. All right, now our lunge pass-throughs. It'll be better if you kind of step back, right? So you step back into this lunge, pass through the leg. Step back through the lunge, pass through the leg, step back through the lunge, pass through the leg, so on and so forth. So from here, you guys got 50 of those. And once you get done with 50 of those, again, you put the bell down. I recommend that, unless you guys gotta pay a penalty. Then you go into 50 Russian swings. So full American swings, sorry. So with the American swings, the bell stops overhead with the bottom of the bell facing the ceiling or the sky, right? So we go here. And I'm a huge fan of no false swings. So I like to stand away from my bell. So whenever I pick it up off the ground, I just toss it between my legs as if I was hiking a football, and then that'll create the momentum into the bell so I can just blow it right into my first lift. So I go here. You got 50 of those. All right, once we get done with 50 of those, again, rest down. Now this Curtis P, it's a little different, right? So it's a squat clean and to a lunge each leg and to a press on one side. And then you would do that on the other side. Or you can do that just kind of both ways. So the squat clean, if we was to do this double-handed, I'll just kind of start here, just kind of think of a sumo deadlift high pull, but catch it in the bottom of a squat. Squat clean, then we lunge left, lunge right, press above head, all right? So that's completely cool. If you guys do it that way, that's fantastic, because you guys don't have to deal with just, you know, overtraining the side. If you guys want to do it with one arm, just remember, adopt the slow swing. We want to go clean, and then drop, drop, press, clean, drop, drop, press. All right, so it's just 25 of those. And again, 2 hands, 1 hand kind of makes it a little bit fun. Again, these kettlebells, it's one thing. So just find ways to kind of make it fun and engaging for you as you kind of go through this workout. And then we got 100, just jumping over your kettlebell. Right, all the way to 100. Do that. Once you guys get done, you'll reverse that pyramid. 25 Curtis P's, 50 American swings, 50 lunge pass-throughs, 50 Russian swings. Time. Have fun, go get it.